Where has all the nature gone? In our quest to build new things, new houses, we tend to overtake nature, expanding further out from where our original settlement used to be. And of course, in that pursuit, quite often there is farmland, nature, trees, all that we tend to overtake, and it gets destroyed. We drive the animals out of their natural habitat, and as a result, then we complain when we find these wild animals in our backyards. I am speaking from experience here, things that I have seen happen in my hometown. When I was a kid, there seemed to be a lot more trees and wetland type of areas. Places we would go, places we would explore, build forts, hang out. Sometimes you'd find odd things like an old car, or you wouldn't really see many animals, anything more than birds or snakes or something, because most of the larger animals are smart enough to stay out of a child's way. Playing in the mud, never really causing any harm or destroying anything, just kids being kids. Now when I go back to those spots, the trees are gone, the wetlands are drained, the animals have been displaced, forced to move in other areas, and a new housing development is in there. And of course, they've moved on to destroying or developing, clearing out the next area. In our quest to build bigger and better things, more houses, more businesses, more attractions, the only way to do it is to overtake nature, expand the boundaries of our city further out, destroying outlying areas. Again, whether that is nature, whether that is a farmland where we grow our crops, whether that is farm sites where families or generations have been, born, raised, and died. Now I'm pretty sure these developers had paid these families very well for their land. But at the same time, how much can we afford to lose with, crops, cropland or farmland and nature before we end up having trouble? Even though we are building new things, new houses, new businesses, there are not places sitting empty. People are coming here, moving here, and as a result, they need housing. They need quick housing. And it seems that the need for housing outweighs the environmental concerns. There's always those big-time developers just wanting to make a quick buck at nature's expense. I know they recently have been trying to engineer, holding areas for storm drain water, as well as, green spaces for parks and stuff. But those green spaces aren't really meant for animals, they're more meant for people. And the water holding areas aren't really meant to be wetlands per se. They're more meant to hold storm runoff so they don't flood residential areas. In other cities or other countries, they are trying to combat this. They're trying to slow the rate of disappearing nature reserves by building high-density housing like apartments or condos. Building houses that are tall and narrow and not one level and wide, taking up a lot of room. If you choose to have a house like that, then of course that comes at a premium price. Some places have even took it a step further and are trying to preserve wetlands, trying to make places for animals to live, trying to keep, nature and not allow houses and stuff to encroach on the natural land. Because if you have, houses backing onto wetlands, you're going to have animals wander into people's backyards. And with that, quite often, animals never make it back out. Either they're trapped, either they're injured, poisoned, or shot. And it's not the animal's fault. They're just looking for food, shelter, whatever, right? As a result, animals have become accustomed to people. Some animals actually have learned to eat from our trash, knocking over our garbage bins, raiding our gardens, eating from bird feeders, raiding our compost pile. They have learned where there is a food source, nature's will or want to survive. Interaction between humans and animals quite often ends badly for the animal. Either they get injured from being hit by a vehicle, or they get reported to animal control, or like Fish and Wildlife, and of course then they have to come and investigate. And if there has been severe interaction, like an injury between a pet and an animal, or an animal and a human, then of course quite often the wildlife, takes the brunt of it and ends up being destroyed. Basically, it all comes down to, we moved into their area, all they want is a place to live, and when they try to survive, we get in their way a second time. Attacks on pets do happen. Sometimes it's something as simple as your pet is just being curious. They've never seen a duck before, they've never seen a beaver before, or muskrat, or even, larger prey. And sometimes these wildlife animals are nesting or have a litter in the area, babies in the area, and they're just doing what comes natural and protect their babies from threats. Missing animals, which seems to be a bit around here, common in the last few years. Some of that can be a result of predators hunting, whether it's foxes, coyotes, larger so-called predators. We don't get a lot of larger animals like cougars or lynxes or anything, but there have been a few found in the area in the past. Some of the most common animals that we see around here are like rabbits and muskrats and skunks. We see those on a almost daily basis. They become normal. Some of the rarer ones that you do see again are lynxes or cougars, moose. Elk is kind of semi-common as well. Deer obviously is very common, especially around water type areas, whether it's a river or water or storm holding areas. And again, quite often, if they are found in your backyard, sometimes again interaction doesn't end too well for the animals. What can we do to help or slow or end this whole destruction of nature? Should we just ignore it, because there's nothing we can do about it? It's too late to make a change? Or can we really make a change? We still need houses, we still need businesses. These people that are coming here need places to live. We need places to work. Sometimes building higher, high density housing is not in the books to build, so they tend to build out further, and as a result we get what we have right now. Again, what can we do to make a change? What can we do to try and remedy the situation? Leave your comments below on your thoughts on this whole situation. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Mind. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.